Okay, so we've got a Nexus 7 and a Nexus 9, both running Lineage OS 14.1, both currently on the 31st of October 2017 ROM. So if we do the OTA at the same time, and then we wait to see what happens. Now, I don't know if my Nexus 9 is dodgy or if all Nexus 9s are like this, but as you can see, the Nexus 7 has already rebooted. Meanwhile, the Nexus 9 is still thinking about it. And what this video is going to show is quite how much quicker the Nexus 7 is compared with the Nexus 9 when it comes to OTA updates. So the thing is that I think the storage in at least my Nexus 9 is very slow compared with basically any other Android device that I've got, which just doesn't make any sense to me because it was a very expensive tablet when it came out. The build quality is good. Everything about this device is great. The screen's great. Okay, it's a 4:3 aspect ratio, which is not great for watching movies and stuff, but I think it's better for reading news articles and sort of general browsing. But I just do not understand why it takes so long to do anything that requires I/O to the disk. It just makes no sense to me. Did I just get sold a turkey when I bought it off Gumtree? I didn't pay very much for it, and I just always assumed that the Nexus 9 generally was very slow. And as you can see, the Nexus 7 is almost finished doing the OTA at this point, and the Nexus 9 is just about starting. Let's keep that screen on. And so a lot of this video is just going to be waiting around for it to do it. The Nexus 7 will be done much more quickly than the 9. It's been that way with every OTA I've done. Yeah, here we go, Nexus 7's rebooting. Now, is mine just dodgy, my Nexus 9? That's what I'm making this video to find out. So if you have got a Nexus 9 and a Nexus 7, it would be good if you could do this. You don't have to film it or anything, but if you leave a comment or whatever to tell me, is your Nexus 9 storage slow? And I don't suppose there's anything I can do about it if mine is just dodgy. But what's weird is that whenever I've done any Antutu benchmarks on it, it's always been really good. It's always scored really high score and it's just been fine. It's just the only thing is that really slow storage. And yeah, as you can see there, Nexus 7's all working fine. That's my setup on it, very basic. So that's done. Meanwhile, what's the Nexus 9 doing? Oh, it's still thinking about it. But anyway, Antutu benchmarks always score really high on the Nexus 9 whenever I've done them, much higher than the Nexus 7. And generally speaking, the performance is brilliant with it. But it's just this storage issue that it just makes everything really slow. So now you can see it's rebooting, and it's going to take a lot longer to boot as well than the Nexus 7 did, applying this update. And it just infuriates me that I've got this tablet that is otherwise much better than the Nexus 7, but I find myself using the Nexus 7 far more than the Nexus 9. Well, maybe not far more, but certainly a bit more, because it's just faster when it comes to anything that requires the disk. So I probably should just fast forward this now, because it's going to take at least another minute or two, and I've pretty much run out of things to say. But it's, oh well, you could argue that, well, why don't you use the stock ROM? But it's exactly the same issue. I haven't used stock ROMs for a while, but when I did, I found that the storage to be very slow there, so I don't think it's like a driver issue or anything like that. And I suppose it's testament to how good the Nexus 7 is, really, because that is still going strong now. If you've got a 2013 Nexus 7 languishing somewhere, install Lineage on it and you'll find that you've got an up-to-date tablet that's patched against crack, unlike I think any of the Google official ROMs at this point, kind of mid-November, that's really fast and does the job still. So you see, we're still waiting for the Nexus 9 to boot. It's unbelievable how long this takes. I kind of don't want it to be true. I don't want someone to say mine's much quicker than yours, because then mine's just dodgy, and then I either have to sell it, which I can't really do in good conscience, can I, without mentioning it, and then it's not going to be worth very much. Plus I put a scratch in it. You probably can't see from this angle, but even though I've got a fold over case, somehow a scratch appeared in it. I have no idea how that happened, and it's really annoying. You kind of only notice it from some angles, but it's generally not a problem when watching films and browsing and stuff. So we're still waiting. That's what these two lines are. I don't know if you can see. That's the fold. Would you call it a folio case? I don't know. You end up with weird lines there. I don't know what they are exactly. And still we wait. And wait and wait and wait. We're nearly at 6 minutes here waiting for this OTA to happen. Meanwhile, the Nexus 7 is just perfectly usable. I just can't help but feel there's something wrong with this. And there we go, finally it boots. And we've got more or less exactly the same setup as the Nexus 7. So thanks for watching, and do let me know in the comments, please.